on the Civil War, a tour of Vicksburg National Military Park in Vicksburg, Mississippi. The siege of Vicksburg took place from May 18th to July 4th in 1863. After failing to take the city by force, Union General Ulysses S. Grant and the Army of the Tennessee laid siege to the land held by Confederate General John C. Pemberton and his forces. On July 4th, after 47 days, General Pemberton surrendered, and Vicksburg, the last major Confederate stronghold on the Mississippi River, was turned over to General Grant and the Union.
We're at Fort Hill in Vicksburg National Military Park, and this is where I like to start my tours because it really answers the first and foremost question, why Vicksburg? And I think looking over my shoulder, the topography itself answers the question. We are on the highest point in the entire lower Mississippi Valley. Whoever commands this hill commands the river, and the campaign for Vicksburg is all about control of the Mississippi River. When the war first starts, both presidents, the American president Abraham Lincoln and the Confederate president Jeff Davis, both understand the cruciality of control of this river and Vicksburg's role. Lincoln gets his general staff in the room, puts his hand on the map and says, look at all the land these fellows control, of which Vicksburg is the key. And I do not think we will bring this war to a satisfactory conclusion until that key is in our pocket. Jeff Davis, whose plantation is about 12 miles south of Vicksburg, he lives here, he works here, he knows this city intimately and refers to it as the nailhead that holds together the two halves of the Confederacy. From here to Memphis is the delta. On both sides of the river, low, swampy ground. As you can see across the river from me is Louisiana. Again, more of the delta, more low, swampy ground. All totally indefensible. You just can't place your cannons in the swamp. Starting here at Fort Hill, which has been fortified actually before the American Civil War, the Spanish were the first to build a large fortification here in colonial times known as Fort Nogales. But again, the Spanish, the French, the British, the Americans, the Confederates have all realized the strategic value of placing cannons and fortifications upon this hill. This was the northern anchor of the Confederate defenses of Vicksburg. From here, along the river for 4 miles, were Vicksburg's impregnable river defenses. Not only was it an incredible amount of heavy artillery here, but if you look over my shoulder, what is now the Yazoo River Diversion Canal, it came about after the flood of 1876, where the Mississippi River cut across DeSoto Point and is now the main channel is actually about 2 to 3 miles south of Old Town Vicksburg. But at the time of the Civil War in 1863, right over my shoulder is where the Mississippi River did a 180-degree bend around DeSoto Point. The river is heading north, does a complete U-turn and heads south. So riverboat traffic heading north or south not only had to contend with the incredible eddies and currents of the largest river in the continent doing such a U-turn, the Confederates with their guns and stuff here, now they had to contend with the Gibraltar of the Confederacy as well. So the question, why Vicksburg? Just look over my shoulder, and they knew it at the time. Whoever holds this hill controls the Mississippi River and the Mississippi Valley.